All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar of doing a nice cleanse and releasing through the full moon. So, hello, welcome. Give me a hello when you're here. I'm just going to just bring this up on my phone so I can see comments on Facebook through my phone. And so welcome and Happy New Year. So let me know when you're here. Let me know who's popping on. If you're catching the replay, let me know you're catching the replay. So I really just wanted to take some time just to connect with you guys, to give us all an opportunity to really ride the benefit of the moon. So last year I did a lot of work of really grounding myself with the cycle of the moon. The new moon, full moon was a really good way for me to get centered and grounded, set my intentions for the month. Then when we hit the full moon has lots to do with cleansing, breaking cycles, kind of like tidying up what is in our way, what's our roadblocks from getting and creating what we wanted from our new moon. So following the rhythm of the moon has just really enhanced my awareness. It's kept me consistent. And really, when you become aware of a rhythm of the moon, you'll start noticing your different energy levels. For us women, our menstrual cycles often will fall alongside the moon. And so when we can become aware of, hey, where are we? And where within our menstrual cycle, our energy levels, our moods, we have cyclical patterns. And when we can highlight and become aware of them, we can start scheduling our life. And when we hit those maybe lower energy times of the month of being prepared, being proactive, but also not thinking there's something wrong, of just like, oh yeah, this is the cycle of the moon I'm in, or the month, and create more gentleness within yourself. So I really enjoyed the cycle of the moon. So the last new moon was December 23rd. So that was a really good time just before Christmas to sit down and got myself grounded, set my intention for the next moon cycle. And then today, school hasn't started back for us yet, so we still kind of in a bit of a holiday mode still, but hitting into the full moon, kind of before I get into the routine back into school and everything else, is going to give us an opportunity to do some reflection and start cutting the ties to some of the habit patterns or baggage that we've been kind of holding on to from the year. So some of you I know have hopped on and did my reset of the body, mind, soul earlier. But today is a modified version of that, giving us time. Many times we just don't take the time to do these things. So if you're hopping on, I invite you just to eliminate any distractions, to sit down, get a pen and paper, get yourself a warm drink, and just honor some time for you just to ground yourself and get recentered for the year, for the month. So let's begin. I know I had put the workbook in an attachment you guys could have downloaded in our Facebook group. If you didn't, that's totally okay. I'll talk through and go through the bit of the workbook. If you're catching the replay or you want to download that workbook, it's there for you guys to use as a reference point at any time. It's just a nice support tool. So those of you who maybe are on my email list, you will have received an email with the document as well, the workbook. So welcome. My intention is for us just to create some consistency, some time, and become grounded within ourselves. So the very first thing I invite you to do is just ask yourself the question, how are you? Just go inward, check in. How are you doing? And if you want, you can give your comments in the comments. If you don't want to, that's okay, but just really be honest with yourself. Tune in. How are you today? How does your mind feel? How does your body feel? How does your soul feel? And just breathe in, tune in. There's no judgment. It's just, once again, bringing awareness in, checking in with yourself. How are you? Okay, so I would invite us now to start doing a bit of reflection. Many times starting a new year, we get enthusiastic to start creating something new. We set goals, we keep focused on the future, but we sometimes don't take a moment to acknowledge, what have we accomplished? What did we achieve? And so I just want to invite you to do that now. So I just want you to reflect on the 2022 and take a look. What were 10 significant things that happened? Maybe they're not significant, but what are 10 kind of bigger highlights, good or bad, doesn't matter at this point. Just write down what are 10 things that were highlights of your last year. And just allow yourself to reflect that, because when we take time to reflect, that's going to allow us to become aware. It helps us synthesize. When we are aware of what we went through or what were our learned lessons, then that enhances the liver's ability to organize, strategize life, but also gets us to download and integrate the wisdom that we accumulated. So when we actually integrate the wisdom that we have learned and we reflect on that, it enhances our ability to evolve. So if we don't become aware of what lessons we've learned and we're not integrating them into who we are and how we're creating the future, we're going to keep repeating the same patterns. So oftentimes repetitive patterns is because we're not actually honoring and becoming aware of what we are learning. And so, and allowing that opportunity for the liver to get its aha moment. What are your learned lessons? What was the wisdom you've gained? And then when the liver gets that, it sends it to the heart, and the heart stores it as wisdom. It becomes part of our I amness. And when it's wisdom, it just becomes part of our being. We don't have to effort, validate, justify. It just becomes a way of our being. Okay. So write down top 10 things or 10 things that were significant or that you can think of that happened this year. Okay. So part one to this next step is I want you to, if you were in the workbook, there's a brain drain. I would have probably want to have done that prior to going into reflection. I guess we'll just pause now. So we can do a brain drain. So just take a moment and I want you just to write down anything that crosses your mind. Brain drain is one of my most quickest and most effective ways to quiet the mind, eliminate anxiety, stress. It creates clarity, focus, it grounds me. But what it really does is it gives us an opportunity to build a relationship with our mind. So many times, if we don't become friends with our mind is going to become a bully. It's going to override us. It's going to create fear and anxiety, doubt, skepticism. And so the more that we can use tools to become friends with the mind and build a relationship with the mind, the more effective and powerful we can actually use the power of the mind to create versus trying to survive. So going into this, I invite you just to write down what's on your mind. Perhaps you even got to this point in the video, you're like, I don't have time to do this video. I don't have time to listen or to do these things. But I do encourage you to sit down and do a brain drain, because that's actually going to create space. When we create space for ourselves, naturally, it's going to create time. It's when we're congested and we're cluttered that we will keep this cycle of busyness. And so when we can calm the mind, it will actually create calm and space within our body, mind, but also within our day-to-day concept of time. So when we do a brain drain, you just write down anything that's on your mind. So you just write down whatever pops up into your mind. It could be totally random. That might be things you need to do, things that you feel. And what the goal is you just keep going. You keep going and going and going until you can't think of anything more. You'll hit a point of stillness. And when you get to that stillness, I invite you just to breathe into that stillness, acknowledge it, give it time and space. And the mind is happy, it's content. You've given it a moment to hear what's on it, giving it a voice. Okay, so you can just brain drain. What's on your mind? I'll give you a couple moments as you do this. So brain drain is something I do at least weekly. It helps me get clear as to what am I needing to focus on? What are my to-dos? What are my don't do's? It just creates a lot of clarity on the days throughout the week when I am feeling overwhelmed or scattered. My brain drain is my go-to grounding technique. Okay. So our next part, I invite you to go into what are the top 5 things that you felt were a struggle, or you feel that perhaps are unresolved or are repetitive patterns. So maybe take a look at what were your intentions, what were you hoping to achieve last year, or in life in general, could be. But if we keep our focus to last year, was there one key element that you're hoping to have changed that you didn't see a result in? So just write that, or perhaps you did see results, but you haven't fully made that shift with it. So what is it? What were they? What are your biggest complaints? It's an easy one too to find out. What do you always complain about? Is it feeling tired? Is it not having enough time? Is it wanting to exercise? Is it a body image? Is it money? Is it time? Is it relationships? What is it? What are your top 5 struggles that you feel unresolved? And if you feel courageous enough, you can leave it in the comments or just write them down. Give them a voice, acknowledge them, writing them down. And I would actually love to hear from that. So even if you feel shy, you don't want to put it in the comments, then I invite you then just to send me a private message if you choose. What are your top 5 repetitive cycles? When we give them attention and we give them a voice and we write them down, it creates our ability to shift it so much easier. Okay. So acknowledging those 5 things. Actually, we're going to continue on. So just give them a voice, acknowledging them. We're going to come back to those. Next one. Did you break any promises to yourself? So many times, in order for us to have integrity or to trust ourselves, we have to have consistency. We need to follow through. So every time we tell ourselves we're going to do something or be something or have something and we don't do it, that breaks our trust. So that creates broken trust. It creates this disbelief. So how many times do you have a goal or there's something that you want to do, but you don't believe in yourself that you can actually change or do it? Many times it comes back to these moments of broken promises. And perhaps those other 5 things that you're struggling with are intertwined with this broken promises. And so the goal with creating trust within ourselves, or if you're wanting to create trust within any relationship, it comes with our ability to trust yourself first. So if we don't trust ourselves, we don't have that inner spark, we don't have that inner relationship, then it's also going to reflect into all of our other relationships. As we know this, our external environment is a mirror reflection of what's happening within. I know I feel like I say that lots, but it's something that it's true and we have to become aware of. So if we're not happy with our external experiences, our goal is to go inward and take a look. What is our beliefs, our emotions that we have accumulated or acquired in the first 7 years of life that is on repetitive loop, that is creating the same old pattern? And so this is what this going inward work does. It keeps us going inward to the internal check to get curious. What are our beliefs, our emotions? Why are we creating the same result? And it's because there's that creative loop. So following the cycles of the moon has created a consistency for me to be going inward at least twice a month to do this work. Okay. So your first one is to highlight, what were they? What were your broken promises? And become aware, are they related to the first 5 of your struggles, things that you're struggling with? So there may be a common theme or an integration between the two. Okay, so now take a look. So whether it's a broken promise or one of your of the top 5, you can pick and choose your top 5 struggles. Become aware. So where are you holding it in your body? It might be in an organ, an endocrine, a body part. If you don't know the exact anatomy of somewhere, it might be here, could just be in the chest, it could be inside, it could be your hip. Where is it? So number 1, so take it to identify which one you're going to do. Was it a repetitive cycle or is it a broken promise? So just pick one for now and we're going to work through it. Okay, so whatever it may be, identify where in the body is it being stored. So our physical body is 20% of how we function. And so many times when there's an ache, a pain, dis-ease within that area, it is going to be physically part of it is, but there's going to be more behind the story, whether it's a belief system, an emotion, a memory, a combination of all of them. And so that's what we're going to start heightening. So where in your physical body, when we have a thought, when we have emotions, we have memories, our body is a filing system for those. So they can't have one or the other. They're all integrated and functioning together. Okay, so where are you storing? Where are you holding on to this broken promise or this repetitive cycle? Now go inward and find out where is it locating and just hold that area. So maybe it's in your chest, maybe it's in your shoulder. So let's say it's your shoulder. Okay, so hold that. Maybe your broken promise is, I was going to exercise. I told myself, I set an intention, I was going to exercise however many times a week. I was going to shed however many pounds, whatever it is. So hold that area. And then we're going to use a technique called the Ho'oponopono mantra. So this is a healing mantra that comes from, it's an ancient Hawaiian mantra. In the workbook, I have given you a link as to where you can go and learn and discover more about the mantra. But the mantra is pretty simple. So you're just going to become aware of it using your 5 senses. What does it look like? What does it feel like? And then you're going to repeat this mantra until you feel a release or a shift. Maybe that your mind sees it differently. You might just feel any pain and dis-ease release. There's no right or wrong. So holding that area wherever it's located, you're going to repeat, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And just feel your body releasing that wound, that cycle, that pattern. And keep repeating that mantra until you feel it release. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And even just imagine. So now imagine, so you felt that release. Now get yourself at what age? So what age did you choose to create this pattern or to, create this pattern? Let's go with that. So what age did you learn, when you choose to learn, to create this pattern of broken promises? Or the cyclical pattern, the struggle. And find out whatever age, a number might just pop up You might just see a vision of a little kid, whatever that might be. And we're going to do the Ho'oponopono again. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. And just to acknowledge this little kid, this little inner child, at whatever timeline that you had learned or you chose to create this behavior or hold this memory, feeling these emotions, and just feel it all let go and let that little inner kid know that you love her. You're here to nurture, support her, and feel it release. Okay, so I invite you to do that with all 5 of your struggles. What were unresolved? What are your repetitive patterns? And what were your broken promises? So the more that we can actually create forgiveness. So this one plays a big role of forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, letting it go, feeling that release. But whatever the memories and the emotions that are holding it in place, the Ho'oponopono is going to help dissolve and release that. And owning that, just acknowledging it. Okay, these are broken promises. The more I break my promises, the less I can trust myself. The less I trust myself, the less I'm going to be able to shift and change and create in the future, because I'm going to have that broken trust within myself, my disbelief. And so one thing I try to implement myself, but also in any of my relationships, is if I say I'm going to do something, to follow through. And so if you're finding that there is broken trust in relationships, you have to then, I invite you to go inward and say, where have I broken that trust? What little things have I said I was going to do or be or whatever that I haven't followed through with? But once again, start with your relationship with yourself. And then from your relationship with yourself, that's going to create that ripple to all relationships within and around you. Whether it's people, money, career, your body, your soul, your spirituality, whatever it is, it's all going to come from how we're relating and connecting with ourselves. Okay, so Ho'oponopono, that's a fun one. I use that quite often. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. You can use it at any time, but we just gave it a specific focus to do that. Okay, so finishing our focus of the year, what are 10 things that you are proud of that you accomplished? Okay, so we've taken a look at the broken promises and our repetitive cycles, and we're going to continue to shift and release those. But what are 10 things? So write down your 10 things, and then I want you to put thank you, thank you, thank you. Acknowledge it with gratitude. Gratitude, it's amazing. It's like the magic ingredients for getting more of whatever it is you want. And then the third part is you ask, so it's open up to receive more of whatever that is. You can use an Access Consciousness tool called How Does It Get Better Than That? Okay, or how does it get better than this? So whenever you're in the moment and there's something great that you're feeling, acknowledge it, give it thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And how does it get better than this? And what that does is it opens up the mind to function from the openness versus the repetitive cycle. So when we ask the universe a question, it then can align to give us guidance and new possibilities, showing us and guiding us new ways, versus the mind stuck in a repetitive thought pattern. Okay, so what are the 10 things you're proud of? Write them down, give gratitude to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Third step, how does it get better than that? How does it get better than this? Whichever, as we're doing reflection in the past, how does it get better than that? But when you're in the moment, how does it get better than this? And it's amazing how it creates ease. Things just start happening beyond your imagination. You begin to create life beyond what your conscious mind could imagine it to be. All right, so do 10 of those. The more we can acknowledge ourselves, that fills us up. So we're building and rekindling trust. We're breaking the cycles. What are our habits that are breaking our trust? So we're not following through. But yet we've got to start acknowledging, how awesome are you? What did you do? What did you accomplish? How did it feel? And start creating momentum moving forward. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to start unburdening ourselves of some patterns here. So we're going to kind of bring our specific focus to the mind, body, and soul. So judgment is like it's just the quickest way for us to dissemble ourselves or to break ourselves down. And so we're going to use judgment to start dissolving judgment. Okay, so what are the top 3 judgments you have of your mind? You might be like, I haven't even thought of my mind. So, and that's okay. If you don't have the answer to that, ask it, and you might start noticing, how do you judge your mind? Whether I can't focus, I'm scattered, I have a poor memory, I can't learn, whatever it is. What are your 3 judgments of your mind? And then what are your top 3 judgments of your body? Now tuning in, feeling, what is your relationship with the body? How do you feel with your body? And then your your soul. What are your 3 judgments of your soul? And you're like, I don't know. Do you feel disconnected? Another way you could maybe, what is your judgments of your life purpose, or your journey, or timeline might be another way to break that down. So what are your judgments? Okay, so we're going to use a clearing statement, come from Access Consciousness. So I'm going to get you to go back to your judgments, and we're going to use this clearing statement to clear it. All right, so the clearing statement, once again, I gave a link that you can go to learn about the Access Consciousness clearing loop or statement. I use this all the time. I use, as a reset, re-clearing. The more, once again, this is a tool that we can start learning and recognizing what are our beliefs and how can we release them? How can we start shifting that? Okay, so going into your judgment. So everywhere you judge your mind, everything that brings up or pushes down, I now uncreate and destroy. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, that's the longer version. If you want, you can just do whatever that judgment, everything that judgment is, everywhere I judge my mind, everything that brings up or pushes down, I now uncreate and destroy. Everything that is times a godzillion, that's another one. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. Thank you. So you're going to go through each of your statements. Everywhere I judge my body, everything that brings up, pushes down, I now destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. Everywhere I believe around your soul, they're going to go to the soul. So everything that brings up, repeat your statement of whatever your judgment is, everything that brings up or pushes down, I now destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. Or you can just do pod and poc. Okay. So that is your clearing. That's going to help clear our judgments. Now, this pod and poc, you can do it anytime. Anytime you feel triggered in life, someone pushes your buttons, you feel that the cycle, maybe your cycle that's reoccurring, everything this is, everything that this, you can just acknowledge, everything this is, I now destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 short, boys, and beyonds. Or everything this is, pod and poc. It can be that simple. Okay, good. So everything, that is simple as this, pod and poc are going to clear our judgments. The more we judge ourselves, it creates a cycle of judgment. So the more quicker we can to dissolve our judgment, it is amazing. It creates compassion. It creates, it creates compassion, gentleness, Non-judgment gets us into that space of self-love, or we can learn, grow, and flourish and thrive in life versus trying to survive through our judgment. Okay. Next part is to reset relationships. Okay, so we're going to reset our relationships with our mind, body, soul, or any other relationship. So I'm going to go through some of these examples, and we're going to be using the Access Consciousness tools. But as much as we're going to go through this, any relationship that you're feeling a struggle with, we're going to bring our internal focus right now, but you can also use this in any area of your life. Okay. So here how it works. I'm just going to read what I have here. So let's begin to reset a relationship with yourself, your mind, body, and soul, and any other relationship you want to unburden and reset. Using the tool from Access Consciousness, this tool is a way your life, this tool changes the way your life flows. It allows it to be constantly creating and generating with other people rather than weighing you down by the past. So that's our goal, really, is to unburden our past. Like, what was 2022 like? Let's unburden all that, reset it, all of our relationships within ourselves, and then you can go into your environment, your career, whatever, family, etc. So we're going to be using the clearing statement again. So I now uncreate and destroy my relationship, and you can define with your body, mind, soul, husband, kids, career, your boss, whatever. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So within the workbook, I've written out a few specific ones that we'll go through. So I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to me. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So everywhere that we've been relating, what has your relationship been with yourself? How have you been treating yourself? How you've been connecting with yourself? Everything that brings up pushes down. I now destroy and uncreate my relationship with me. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So what this is doing is just clearing what is unnecessary, and let's have a reset. Let's start going and creating versus keeping the cycle of those beliefs. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my body. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my mind. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my soul. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So you can refill in that blank with any other relationship or things that you are struggling with, whatever the cycle is. So I now destroy and uncreate my relationship with food. I uncreate and destroy my relationship to food. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Maybe it is with stress. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship with stress. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Whatever your cycle was, destroy and uncreate. It's amazing how quick it gets you just to cut the ties and open up to new possibilities of relating and connecting versus dragging all that old in. So here's another version of the statement. If you want to use a longer version, it's here. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my mind and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, and rejection either of us have about the other in our relationship from the past, present, or future. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. We'll do a few. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my mind and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to myself and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to money. Every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. I am just going through ones that pop up. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my mom and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my father and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, and rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my kids and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. Let's do. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my career and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, and rejection either of us have of each other, of our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. I had one pop up. Let me know. Is there a relationship? Anyone that's hopping on, listening? Is there a specific relationship you'd like to shift? And now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my partner and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have of each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. I now uncreate and destroy my relationship to my home and every projection, expectation, separation, judgment, rejection either of us have about each other or our relationship from the past, present, or future, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Thank you. So repeat that with whatever relationships you want. Okay, so moving forward, so what I invite you to do is, so the full moon has a lot to do with cleansing. So if these are cleansing statements, I like to do these clearing cleansing statements quite often. That helps to shift and clear my mind and relationships, reset. The full moon, is a fun time. If you wanted to put things in there to charge or to get cleansed, so you can put your jewelry like on your windowsill where you get the energy of the full moon. When I used to do hot stone massage, I used to always put my rocks outside so the moon can charge. If you have crystals or things like that you're wanting to clear, cleanse, put them in the full moon. The full moon light is very powerful in cleansing and breaking these cycles. So cleansing. This is a good time. So we've done some journaling, some writing. Any of the things that you were struggling with, things that you're repetitive patterns, so hopefully you'll use these clearing statements, the Ho'oponopono, to do the work, but also you can then burn those sheets of paper. So whether we have a fireplace, I'll put them in the fireplace, but you can rip them up, you can burn them, do some kind of ritual, to initiate the release. And so you could, I don't know, if you have a bonfire outside, put it in your fireplace. Creating some kind of consistent ritual. I always like to do these. So every full moon, every new moon, full moon are my times of doing this work. So I like to set up a space where it's clear, it's clutter-free. It's me time. I light a candle, I make myself a yummy drink, and I it doesn't take long. Like it's been 40 minutes, might take you an hour out of the day to do a nice reset. So whatever that is. So the more you can create a ritual or create a pattern, the more easier and funner it's going to be. You're going to long and wish for that day. So I invite you to do that. So I invite you to do the work. You can purge it, cleanse it, burn it, rip it up, throw it out. Whatever the case is, give it to the energy to the universe, saying, okay, I release this. I now release this and let it go. Okay, so as I end my ritual, I always like to shift my mind from the repetitive thoughts. The more that we base our functioning in day to day based on our belief systems, we're going to keep creating the same result. What we think about comes about, just is. So I like to live and try to break my cycle of living in that thought to living in the question. So I've wrote out a few questions, typed out a few questions, once again from Access Consciousness, to shift from the probabilities that our beliefs will create. Our belief systems create probabilities, and it's our BS. They're just beliefs. It's BS. It's not true. And so shifting our mindset into possibilities of opening the mind, keeping the mind open so the universe can actually provide us with new information. So here are some statements. Who am I today, and what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have and receive today? So I actually have these typed out. I had them in the bathroom for the longest time. I have some of them written on my kitchen fridge, and I just have them everywhere. So me, my family, we're all collectively shifting, whether they are aware of it or not. The energy is there. So this is a fun one I do quite often. It's like my morning mantra before I get out of bed. All of life comes to me with ease, grace, joy, and glory. Repeating it 10 times in the morning, and I do it at night as well. When you receive something you really enjoy, you're experiencing your day, then just ask, how does it get better than that? So we kind of used that earlier. We're going to integrate that again. How does it get better than that? You just ask the universe, how does it get better than that? When things go really good, whether it's, maybe you got something on sale, or you had a really good conversation with somebody, or you got done work earlier, whatever the case is, what are the little simple things? Ask yourself, how does it get better than that? And then the universe can show you. And then, so if there's something specific you're wanting to create, so whatever your intention is, so new moon is often the cycle of the moon where I'll set my new intention. What am I going to create? Who do I want to be? Whatever it is, you can ask, what will it take for this to show up? And who do I need to be in order for this to show up? And then that allows the universe to realign, to guide, and different ways of thinking, showing you new possibilities. That concludes our full moon. Recognizing, becoming aware, using those clearing statements to clear your thoughts, the mind, the Ho'oponopono, creating forgiveness to yourself, rebuilding your relationship with trust within yourself, and allow those cycles to break. So you can take those journaling pages, burn them, rip them up, whatever you choose to do with them. But the intention is surrendering them now to the universe as a thank you, saying, I'm breaking my ties, I'm cutting my ties, enough is enough, and using some of those tools to help reset that. Awesome. So I always love to do a card. And so I'm going to pull a card for us in a group. And it's something fun. I'm not like a tarot card reader per se, or I don't want to label myself with any of that. This is just something fun and playful that I like to do. I'm going to set this for the intention for anyone in this group, anyone that's catching the replay, watching it as a message, or there might be something in it. So I shuffle the deck. This one fell out, so I'm going to use this one. That's kind of my rule of thumb. So I'll shuffle the deck. So whether you have these or not, I just kind of get clear, set my intention, then I shuffle. Sometimes one falls out. If so, that's the one I'm going to use. If not, then I just follow my inkling and pick a card. So a card fell out. It popped right out of the deck. So we're going to trust that one. The card is power. So I'm going to just take a moment and read you guys about power, and perhaps it will resonate to create some awareness within you. I just got to find it. So anyone that's catching the replay or on, what are some of your rituals? Do you follow the cycles of the moon? AB. What are some of the things that you do to align yourself with the power of the moon? It's amazing how much ease can actually happen when we align ourselves to what's actually happening in the bigger realm of the universe, the planets. It creates so much more ease with our own energy systems in ourselves. So let me know. I'd love to hear. Do you have a full moon ritual? Maybe it's running around naked, howling at the moon, whatever the case may be. What is it? If you don't, I invite you to join me to create one. What would that look like? What are you longing, needing? What do you desire? Okay, I found power. All right, so I'm gonna go show you a little bit closer again. Power, that's the card. Okay, so power. You are more powerful than you can imagine. This card serves as a reminder that within you lies the infinite well of power that you can source whenever you choose. Throughout our lives, we may have been given the power to others, or it had stripped away, but we always have the ability to call it back. Yeah, so when we take a look at our repetitive cycle, how much power are we giving into that cycle? How much power are we giving to our broken promises? And so it gives us an exercise. So let's just do it. So exercise, sit really quietly for a moment, focus on your breath. So you can do that now. Begin to bring your awareness. Okay, sorry. Sit really quiet for a moment, focus on your breath. Begin to bring your awareness to your solar plexus or your abdomen. This is your power center. Imagine that you are sitting inside it. How does it feel right now? Do you feel lots of energy here, or does it feel stagnant? Now imagine there's a glowing seed in the pit of your stomach. It is your power. Now imagine holding it and watching it grow. Breathe in, giving it your awareness. What we focus on grows. Now imagine holding it and watching it grow. Feel it, all of your 5 senses. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Giving it attention and watching it grow. Now I invite you also to pull all your energy to anywhere that you've been giving your power away that's no longer serving you. Whether it's in relationships, judgments, criticisms, cyclical patterns, pull and invite all that energy back in. Nice. Now feel what messages it has for you. What does it need from you? Okay, and it says continue to come back and nurture your power. So maybe throughout the day, however many times you can, maybe going to bed, allow yourself to come back, tune in, check in. What does it feel like? Okay, so within this power symbol has the bear. The bear teaches us that understanding and working with our personal cycles amplifies our personal power. While it is widely accepted that bears hibernate, it is actually not the case. They go into a deep sleep called a torpor, which means that they are still able to wake up if startled. They go into the torpor to survive the winter when the food is not really available, and to do so, eating more in the fall to store up your body fat. As humans, we may not sleep for months, but we may have our personal cycles. It is important that we know what to expect from ourselves. You may not feel very productive during the new moon or even the entire season, and it's okay. There will always be other times where you have way more energy space within you. Knowing these things about yourself is as powerful as it helps you prepare and maximize your potential. The California poppy is a guide for us when we feel disconnected from our personal power. During trying times, it teaches us how to ground into our true feelings and experiences, despite how our container. It amplifies our personal power. Poppies are the poppies are the necystic, which means that they are closed at night and open in the sun. This serves as a reminder for us to source the light where we can, but to also have boundaries in place that prevent our power from leaking. Call upon the poppy as a teacher for creating a container for your personal power and transmuting painful experiences into strength. Citrine is all about getting things done. It strengthens our determination, will, and ability to bring our ambitions into physical form. It's a fiery energy, clears the power center of our feelings of unworthiness, and encourages us to take action. Call upon the citrine, which is a crystal, when you need help clearing any blockages around abundant success and taking action in personal power. Awesome. So there's a card for the day. Now, I would like to hear, how are you guys feeling now? Did you gain any awareness today? Let me know in the comments. So I would like to offer you an invitation. So I, in the past, have ran masterminds over the last few years. So this year I've decided that I'm going to do Riding the Waves of the Moon Mastermind. And so if this is something you've enjoyed today, something that you're wanting to create consistency, build relationships, connect with like-minded people, keep yourself focused and grounded, then you can stay listening. This might be something you're interested in. If not, that's okay. You can end now. And I thank you for tuning in for this. For those who are curious and you wanting to know a little bit more about the mastermind, then I'm going to just take a few moments here to do so. So I'd like to invite you. I'd like you to invite you to join me this year for Riding the Waves of the Moon Mastermind. It is something that I really feel. I love the moon. I love following the cycles. I love connecting with like-minded people. And so I decided to create our mastermind following the moon cycles. So what this mastermind is going to look like is we're going to get together twice a month, every new moon and full moon, and we're going to do rituals like we are today, more personalized. So you'll get a 60-minute call every new moon, full moon, where we're going to explore. You'll get a workbook. We'll explore the workbook, do what fun things. So we'll be doing, I'm going to stay focused on my notes here. So we're going to do pod coaching. We're going to work with healing sessions. So every new moon and full moon, we're going to do healing sessions. Every month you will get a personal tarot card pulled for you. And then we're going to create a Facebook group where it's going to be kind of our space, our sacred space for the group, for the mastermind, where we'll be posting, connecting. I'll be doing the go lives, just like we're doing this training in this group, in that private group. But everything will be recorded. So we'll be doing, having access to all the replays. So it is going to be the full year, the 12-month mastermind, where it allows us consistency and create connection with each other. So if you're interested, let me know. The investment, if registered before January 8th, it's $600 if you pay in full, or it's $75 a month. Yeah, so if this is something you're interested in, let me know. I will send you the registration form and we can get you guys registered. So we'll be starting on the new moon, which I don't have the date right. I believe it's like January 21st, if I remember correctly, is when we'll be initiating the full mastermind. So if you don't choose to do the mastermind, that's totally okay. I hope you can even just use this workbook with all the tools and strategies that for this month that you can use at all times to help shift, change, and give yourself a fresh new reset. So every month we're going to be using different tools, different corporations to do that. So today was just a building block and just a free gift. This is something you can go back to and use every month with the cycle of the moon to support and nurture yourself. So I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in, hopping in, and I'd love to connect with you guys in our group setting to make 2023 an awesome year by riding the waves of the moon. So thanks everybody, and we'll chat soon. Just going to end this all. Thank you. Bye-bye.